What is an atom? The atom is the smallest particle of an element that can take part in a chemical reaction. It is made up of three subatomic particles, namely neutrons, protons, and electrons. Neutrons and protons are found in the central part of the atom, a region known as the nucleus, and together they are known as the nucleons. Electrons, on the other hand, occupy some regions surrounding the nucleus known as energy levels. In terms of charge, electrons are negatively charged while protons are positively charged, and since positive attracts negative, protons attract the electrons surrounding them, and this is called the nuclear force of attraction. Neutrons, on the other hand, are electrically neutral. They have no charge. Because every atom contains an equal number of electrons and protons, the positive and negative charges cancel each other and the atom becomes neutral in charge. Every atom has two numbers, the atomic number and the mass number. The atomic number refers to the total number of protons in the atom. The mass number, on the other hand, refers to the sum of protons and neutrons in the atom. For example, let's say an atom of sodium contains 11 protons and 12 neutrons. 11 becomes its atomic number and 11 plus 12 becomes its mass number. To represent the two values, they are written this way. Some atoms are found to have the same atomic number but different mass number. For example, chlorine here has an atomic number of 17 but different mass numbers. Why does that happen? It happens because the two atoms of chlorine have the same number of protons but different number of neutrons. Therefore, the atomic number does not change but the mass number does change. These kinds of atoms that have the same atomic number but different mass number and yet belong to the same element are known as isotopes. Different isotopes have different masses and they also occupy an element in different percentages. For this reason, the total mass of an element is known as the relative atomic mass. By definition, it is the average mass of the atoms of an element relative to that of carbon-12. Why carbon-12? That's content for another video. One more thing you need to know, the RAM of an element is measured using an instrument called the mass spectrometer. Now let's talk about electrons. Electrons occupy regions around the nucleus. These regions are known as energy levels. The first energy level accommodates a maximum of 2 electrons and this is known as a duplet configuration. The second and third energy levels accommodate a maximum of 8 electrons each and this is known as an octet configuration. The distribution of electrons in an energy level is known as electron arrangement or electron configuration. Elements with the same number of occupied energy levels are arranged in horizontal rows known as periods. Periods. Elements with the same number of electrons in the outermost energy levels are arranged in vertical columns known as groups. This kind of arrangement is referred to as the periodic table. It helps us to classify elements with similar properties together. Atoms that have a complete duplet or octet configuration are said to be stable. Atoms that do not have this kind of configuration are said to be unstable. For an unstable atom to become stable, it can either lose or gain electrons. When this happens, the atom gains a positive or a negative charge, and it is known as an ion. A positively charged ion is called a cation, and a negatively charged ion is called an anion. In general, atoms of metals lose electrons to form cations, while atoms of nonmetals gain electrons to form anions. The number of electrons that an atom loses or gains is known as the valency of the element. On top of that, when an atom loses or gains electrons, it acquires a new state depending on how many electrons have been lost or gained. This is known as the oxidation number. And by the way, have you ever come across radicals? Radicals are a group of atoms that have a net charge and they react as a unit. Examples include sulfates, nitrates, hydroxide, and carbonates. In reality, chemical substances are made up of atoms of several elements. The best way to show what an atom is made up of is by using a chemical formula. It shows what the substance is made up of and in what proportions. And because these chemical substances take part in a chemical reaction, to represent the chemical reaction we use a chemical equation. A balanced chemical equation contains equal number of individual atoms in both the reactant side and the product side. And it also shows the physical states of both the products and reactants. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I really love science and just making it fun to students. So if you love to see my next video, please like this one and subscribe to this channel. And remember, science teachers are the most serious comedians of all times. Bye.